What is up, guys? Kyle at FAD here, and we are wheeling Strawberry Pass Trail. Located about an hour east of the heart of Sacramento, Strawberry Pass Trail is an easy to intermediate difficulty trail known for its beautiful landscapes and scenic views. Connecting highways 50 and 88, it's usually ran from north to south, but it can be completed in either direction. When our group decided to run this trail, there were all sorts of questions about whether or not their Jeep or truck would be able to make it through the trail. We found even stock Jeeps can do it, especially if they're the Rubicon model or if they had a friend with a tow strap that was willing to help them over the obstacles. On this trip, we were running the straight axle Suburban with 37s. It was no problem at all for us. We decided to air down to about 20 psi. For a heavy truck like this, that's usually closer to about 15 for a smaller truck. Made for a comfortable ride and helped get over some of the obstacles. Coming off of Highway 50, you start at that small staging area that you saw earlier, and then when you continue, it turns into this dirt road. We ran this trail in early November, and as you can see, it was still pretty dry out. It was very dusty. Some parts higher up in the trail had a little bit of running water going through it, but overall it was a really nice day. Great time of year to do this trail. Eventually on your left you'll see this open gate. This is somewhat of a gatekeeper. There's this large rock in the middle. Most vehicles, even this full-size Suburban, was able to squeeze by between the two rocks on the left side, which means pretty much any truck can get through it. Next time though, I'm definitely going to try those rocks on the right and have a little bit more fun. You can hear that my cameraman is already out of breath. This trail starts at a high elevation and finishes at over 8,000 feet, which makes for some great views. I happen to have a bone stock Jeep Gladiator right behind me. You can see it in the view there. So as part of trail etiquette, I was making sure I wasn't getting too far ahead of them. And actually, I like to run this speed anyways, put it in 4 low first gear, and pretty much just crawl the whole trail. A lot of reviews of this trail say that there's only 2 obstacles. I guess it depends on what you personally think an obstacle is, or if there have been any changes made to the trail recently. This is what I would say is the first one. It is a series of medium-sized rocks that you have to get over. If you're a smaller truck, you could go off to the left side of the screen there. I decided to have a little bit more fun and play in the rocks. Right after that, you get into this big S-turn, which is no problem at all for most Jeeps, but in a truck this size, I had to cut everything pretty sharp to get around it, but still, doing it again, I would take an even harder route because it was a lot of fun. Most of this trail is pretty skinny. As you can see here, there's not a lot of room to pull off on either side, and normally the trails ran in one direction, but these side-by-sides were going the other way. Not a big deal at all. They were cool. They pulled over for us. We had something like 25 cars with us, so they had to wait a little while. But this is one of those trails where if you get to about a third of the way through, as you can see here, you can turn around if you're not digging it, but really none of it is too hard to stop you. Plus, you'll want to see the views at the top. This was by far my favorite obstacle on the trail. After going between these two trees, you set yourself up for 3 separate ledge climbs, all going uphill. Shortly after that obstacle, you come to this ledge, which is a small rock between 2 bigger rocks on the outside. I decided to take this one a little bit wide, but no matter how you take the obstacle, once you get to the top, there's sort of a V-notch down the middle, which gives you some pretty cool flex shots when you're driving through it. This rock here is the last obstacle for the trail. After this, you start to crest the middle of the trail and it's all downhill from there. This spot is near the end of the trail, and once you get to it, it is awesome. There's a creek that runs through the left side of the screen there. Plenty of spots to camp out. Would be a really awesome trip to overland up to. We took lunch up here. Shortly after, we'll run into a nice peak with a ton of views looking south, and then after that it's just a grassy dirt road that takes you to the exit of the trail, which has a huge staging area to air your tires back up, fix anything that happened with your truck, and say your goodbyes to all the buddies that went with you. If you're thinking about running this trail, you should definitely do it. It's a great time. We had trucks and Jeeps of all sizes and drivers of all skill levels, and everybody completed the trail. Everyone had a great time. I can't wait to do this trail again, and when I do, I'm going to take all of the harder lines and make sure I get more cool pictures like these of me flexing out on some Jeeps. I hope you liked this video. If you did and you want to see more of the Suburban taking on some trails in California, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you want to check out some of the videos I've made recently, you can check these out. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.